album Armageddon Best of #1. Episode 1, Iron Maiden.
And my older cousin scored tickets, and as I was just exploring like different music genres, he would often take me along if his group of friends ended up with a spare ticket. And
nice.
I remember there was like a horror style magician that was part of the concert.
Of course it was.
Yep. Yeah, obviously. And I remember him like amputating Steve Harris, like taking his hands and putting a guitar on, and like him playing the solo to one of the songs, and they killed Dickinson at the end in an Iron Maiden.
And that was his farewell gig.
Yeah, it was his farewell gig. You know, like
Brilliant.
It was super cheesy and probably doesn't hold up in the present day whatsoever.
Oh, I don't know. I think Iron Maiden, they are all about the theatrics.
Technically proficient beyond belief. When I've been listening to the album, they are like fantastic musicians. But they're playing all the wrong notes in my head. They're just there's nothing
Wow.
which really grabs me. It's like, oh, that's a good drum riff. Oh, okay. No, there's a 14-hour guitar solo. Okay, all right. Okay, here we go.
There is a great joke about playing Run to the Hills in a guitar shop when you're trying a guitar, but playing it in all the wrong notes.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you sound great. You should definitely buy that guitar.
Yeah, so I don't really want to vote for Still Life because it's not that great a track, but it's just up against one of the worst beginnings of a Maiden song pretty much ever.
Beginning aside, if you can just edit the beginning out,
then it would win hands down because it's just a brilliant song.
That you're gonna die.
Oh, well, I mean, everyone knows the chorus.
If you're gonna die, in brackets, if you're gonna die, if you're gonna die, you're gonna die with your boots on.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, why not? So yeah, 22 Acacia Avenue is getting the vote from me.
Wow.
So Rob,
Excellent.
your turn.
Still Life is actually in my top 5 Maiden songs.
Wow. Why? What do you like about it? Why
So it
is
sounded
this?
more like a
What?
demand than a request.
What are you thinking, man? Why? Tell us now. Why?
Top 5.
It's Bruce telling you a story from a first-person perspective, which again is always my favourite type of Bruce. And it is just like he's sitting you down and telling you like the problems he's having with mental health.
Can I just ask what other types of Bruce there are?
Yes. Can you list all the Bruces?
There are many Bruces.
Action Bruce.
If you've heard Skunkworks,
Love a
there are
Bruce.
many Bruces.
Hawaiian Bruce.
What track's that? We should have done that one.
But I just think like it's clearly like they, as you said, that they're struggling with mental health issues. Probably in a time when
Probably should laugh.
Laughing.
but in a time when like mental health wasn't a thing, you know. And it's if you look at it from the current day and from a perspective of someone that's suffering with depression, then it's a huge track.
Mental health, Bruce.
mental Bruce.
God, what happens when mental health Bruce meets Hawaiian Bruce?
I think the world's a better place.
I think I've pulled myself together now.
Gone.
Yeah. But it's
just
setting the scene.
Oh, come on. No, it's just so corny. I know what the song's about, the death penalty and all that, but like, come on. I mean, of all the instruments in the world you could pick from, you know what we need, lads? We need to go to the church and we need to ring that fucker.
Well,
all right, it'll go on the track.
To
All
be
right.
fair, Stu, when they were actually killing people with the death penalty, they didn't bring out the vuvuzelas.
And the kazoos.
Episode 2, Public Enemy.
Chuck D looks the same as he did like 30 years ago. It's weird.
It's it. When he was 20, he looked 40, and when he's 60, he looks 40.
Well, I was thinking also, and I'll mention this later, Living Colour pops into my head as well for one of the tracks. And yeah, same with Corey Glover. He does not look any different, and his voice is no different in the intervening 30 years. So weird. What's the secret, guys?
Yeah. Well, I'm very familiar with the Anthrax version, so
Which is great.
Which is better.
Don't get me wrong. It is amazing.
in my opinion.
Which
Yeah,
is
no,
wrong.
I liked it. I don't think I'd actually heard this version of it before because I've only ever heard the Anthrax version. So it was interesting to hear like the lesser good of the two versions.
Oh, no way.
It was I started getting to the point of do I recognise this from a sample, or do I recognise this from listening to the other album, or what is it? And it kind of got a bit confusing. And as Rob said, you go down rabbit holes, and there isn't like a little amount of samples on these albums. You're talking almost 3 figures worth of samples over the 2 albums.
Yeah.
But for me, the bass and the drums, and like Cath, I'm going to be quite superficial on a lot of these tracks because I don't know them. They don't have any part in my life up until about a month ago.
Yeah.
The bass and the drums of Bring the Noise just edged it over Brothers for me. It does also annoy me with the Mr. And his sister.
Mr.
And it's just like, oh, fuck's sake, just put a rocket up his ass and let's get going with the song. But I can see what they were trying to do with that. And one of the main reasons why I picked Polly Wanna-Cracker, and this is where me and Stu fall out, was that's the worst fucking use of a Queen sample I've ever heard.
Dear me. Right, I'm leaving the podcast. Mad of it. Rob?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Rob, we got a hand trainer. I keep forgetting we got a hand over things.
I'm here. I've got opinions.
Well, actually, your opinion is really important because you can make the draw.
It does also annoy me with the Mr. And his
No,
sister.
Mr.
And it's just like, oh, fuck's sake, just put a rocket up his ass and let's get going with the song. But I can see what they were trying to do with that. And one of the main reasons why I picked Polly Wanna-Cracker, and this is where me and Stu fall out, was that's the worst fucking use of a Queen sample I've ever heard.
Dear me. Right, I'm leaving the podcast. Mad of it. Rob?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Rob, we got a hand trainer. I keep forgetting we got a hand over things.
I'm here. I've got opinions.
Well, actually, your opinion is really important because you can make the draw.
That's one of the reasons why it's got my vote for over these two.
Right.
And the
So
main
you got you got over the hurdle of Flavor Flav's voice.
Yeah, I got over the hurdle of Flavor Flav's voice on this track because it's that little fucker's voice on the other track going nah every 2 seconds, which is the reason why I've not done hype.
Wow, that's okay.
It's a shame this is not a visual podcast because I got a real sense of My Little Pony from inside there.
I'm actually saying it as well. It's like someone said something to me the other day and I was like, yeah, boy. And I was like, no, this has got to stop. It's like, how many times can they fucking use it?
Well, let's wait and see.
Only on track 5.
It's so strange though that you lot of all. I didn't like maybe because I've grown up with it. It doesn't even register to me. It's just normal. It's just in there. I don't even know how many times he really says it. It doesn't even pick up. It doesn't even bother me on that thing. The thing I thought would have really bothered you lot was the typical kettle noise, like yee yee, going through like most of the tracks. And I thought you would have picked up on going, I wish that instrument would just go and fuck right off because I've had enough of that. But no, you're all picking on Flav.
Yeah, well,
I mean, he's done a great job of burying that into the back of our subconsciousness,
irritating the shit out of us with it.
I mean, it's the equivalent. I mean, it's not like even like his trademark. It's every fucking song on this album. It's like Queen releasing an album and halfway through every track, Freddie going, Flash, It's like it doesn't add anything to it. It's lost its impact now. At this point, track 5, it's lost the impact of what it means and what it really adds to any songs.
Episode 3, Amy Winehouse.
I actually bumped into her once outside HMV in Oxford Circus.
Did you indeed?
Way back in the day. And I remember she was talking into her mobile phone, and I can only describe her as straight talking to the person on the other end in a very loud voice, which really made me chuckle. And I gave her a smile, and she gave me a smile back. And then I went on tour with her, and we bought a saxophone together. And sorry, that was the other notes. Sorry.
It's a little boring until the Soul to Soul, Back to Life bit kicks in. You know, the drum beat of Soul to Soul. Yeah. And you hear them going, oh, back to life. And it was brilliant, that bit. So I really enjoyed that bit. Cherry, I don't know. It's just it just seems like it's bolted on. It's okay, but I can't. Right, as an artist, they've put those two together because they thought it connects. I can't see the connection. I'm finding it hard. Hopefully, maybe I will learn that from the U3 when you talk. You Know I'm No Good, classic hip hop beat. I don't think you realise, but the bass line is Jump Around by House of Pain. Just slowed down slightly.
Right.
And you found a gap in my facts there.
Classic sax sound as well.
I got to know you now, and I never see you again. Just fuck off, Amy.
It's one of the worst musical in the world.
So yeah, me and Mr. Jones gets it for me.
Okay, Cath.
Right. So Know You Now. I have real problems with that title of the song because I just want to say Now You Know, and I've been struggling with it.
This is Fight for Your Right again, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I thought I wasn't too into it, and I think it irritated me slightly with the jazz kind of boo doo boo doo boo boo sort of lyrics. I just shut up, Amy. Just sing normally. Don't do the whole pretentious jazz shit. Don't listen to that. So I wasn't too keen on that. Me and Mr. Jones is about a couple who are cheating on their partners, and which I thought, it's going to be quite an interesting song. This then, lots of mudslinging and stuff. Also, like Sai, I thought what kind of fuckery is this lyric? Very amusing, because what kind of fuckery is this? Who knows? But yeah, I just thought it was a better song, just more entertaining and more to my sort of tastes than the other one.
Fuck me pumps, I have to tell you something about this. I'm not familiar with that phrase, and I had myself inserted a comma when there was no comma. I was expecting
fuck me pumps or fuck
I was
me
expecting
pumps.
I was expecting a track about a submarine engineer who was bemoaning the lack of recreational equipment. What I didn't realise it was about a pair of sexy women's shoes. So there we go.
Yep.
We've all learnt something today. And I even had it in a sort of northern accent in my head. But there we go. That track actually had over 60 million listens on Spotify, which I thought was rather interesting. So what's the vote then?
I think it has to be Back to Black because I think musically it was superior, even though the lyrics were amusing and almost comical to like a Bill Bailey song that I've just read out. So yeah, Very entertaining all round really. So definitely gets my vote.
Well, I hated that song. That was my favourite. Good grief. That one.
Is it boring? Boring too strong?
No, if that song was on Frank, you'd have a different opinion.
What if Some Unholy War?
Yeah, if I think it was on Frank, because it's a very different style to what Frank is.
Mm.
You're saying like it's getting lost in the mix of Back to Back because they all merge and sound a bit like the same. You know,
yeah, it's almost as if that and
it's a shame. Yeah, it's a shame. But it is a good song. But
it's just does it does the opposite to what one was it? The In My Bed. It was the last track we discussed. That's how long ago it was. It's almost the opposite. That Some Unholy War should be on Frank and In My Bed should be on Back to Black.
So yeah, I guess because I wasn't so into it, my vote is going to go with Help Yourself.
Okay, when you said high keyboards there, I wasn't sure whether you mentioned on the note scale quite high,
Yeah, the notes,
or whether
yeah.
the keyboards had sort of been raised
keyboard-
above the
It was
ground.
on a ladder.
Yeah, and they were sort of looking down on A being played. But that's
Maybe it was
it's good
both.
to clarify that. So thank you. So Help Yourself.
Episode 4, Green Day.
And the urban legend is that this is because, whilst not being happy with the overall album, it was Billy Joe Armstrong himself that stole the master tapes.
Ah. But was it ever proved?
It's never been proved, never been disproved. It's like the Loch Ness Monster.
That's real.
It is. I've seen pictures.
Unless the thief just heard it and went, "What is this shit?"
Especially if it wasn't
I've
their
got to
best work.
save the world.
Burn it.
Yeah.
American Idiot was the 22nd greatest album of the decade, according to Rolling Stone, and the 225th greatest album of all time by the same magazine. It was also deemed the number 1 best rock album of the 2000s by Kerrang, if you remember
What?
Kerrang.
What?
What a
Yeah.
load of horseshit.
Wow.
From this. So, Cath, what do you think of Jesus of Suburbia and Know Your Enemy?
Fucking 9 minutes and 18 seconds of my life I'm not going to get back listening to that 5-part song. So, yeah, too long, in my opinion. I thought, yeah, Jesus of Suburbia, fuck off. It's just some disgruntled kid. It's, nothing interesting. Some little American shit who's so hard done by. Do me a favour. Anyway, the song, I thought the melody was quite fun and catchy. I thought the lyrics were interesting and slightly less shit than I was expecting. But it's just too teenage angsty, really, that song. And I didn't like the sort of the anthemic guitar before the "I don't care if you don't care" bit went on forever. Oh, just yeah. I wanted to fall asleep, but I couldn't because of the assault on my hearing. So, Know Your Enemy.
Both of these albums featured on Green Day Rock Band as
What?
well.
So hold on, Green Day rock band.
Yes.
I mean, what is the level structure there?
Power chords. Lots and lots of
How
power
do you-
chords.
Yeah.
Yeah.
10 minutes later, right, I mastered that. Done. Much like the last episode, I had a slight problem with my grammar, and I didn't realise that there was a comma in the word Christians, and I thought I thought they were burning Christians, but then I realised there wasn't, and I also have to confess that it wasn't until much later, because I was just listening to these tracks for the tracks. I didn't look at any backstory or anything. I didn't realise that there was any sort of concept going on here. So my notes on Christians Inferno are: who is Christian, and has he done something wrong with his barbecue? So
It's the way that he says it, though. Christians Inferno.
I thought the ooh bit was he'd burnt his fingers on the barbecue.
Yeah, well, this is it. Now that you mentioned the barbecue, that's all I got going through. It's like he's burning his mouth. Ooh, it's like the flames are getting higher. And,
Put those Christians out.
Yeah.
but I really think it's Green Day meets the Misfits at this point as well, because it's kind of like really influenced by them.
Well, so like this Jesus of Suburbia and St. Jimmy are possibly the worst character names I've ever heard. It's just me. I'm still cringing from it. Dreadful. The song itself, the lyrics were quite awful. And some of them, "My name is St. Jimmy, I'm a son of a gun, ooh ooh. I'm the one that's from the way outside now, ooh ooh." A teenage assassin executing some... Oh, they're just awful, awful, awful lyrics.
it's a catchy song. However, I really fucking hate those free chords that leads into the guitar solo there. Wank, 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 ding, ding. Yeah, that's exactly what it feels like. It's just like, it's like he's tuning his guitar ready for the solo.
I mean, the backstory is better than the actual. Sorry,
See, like, he's got a dartboard and he's got all these ideas around the dartboard. He's like, I'm a bit stuck for what the topic for this song should be. So he's got these 3 darts and he throws them at the dartboard and they're just completely random ideas that he's got to stitch together somehow.
Yeah, the fact that he stitches them together, I think, is a minor miracle.
Well, tries to stitch them together.
Tries to stitch them together. Occasionally, he ends up with 9-minute epics that are just sellotaped together. So, Cath, is it time or is it Last of the American Girls?
What do you think it might be?
I don't know, because Last of the American Girls to me is very similar to She's a Rebel, which kind of puts me off that. But then When It's Time is not your sort of track.
So, the description of When It's Time made me want to vomit. Oh, damn it. Who the hell are they trying to appeal to? 5-year-olds? Jesus Christ. Oh, awful.
Can't believe it, listeners. Cath has just smashed the headphones down and walked out. We have to do this show, a 3-person show now.
Right. I'm disgusted.
Oh, she's back.
In fact, I'm not only disgusted, Stu and Si, I'm disappointed.
Oh, so passive aggressive.
She's not angry. She's just disappointed.
Where's the Sybil rivalry, Robbie? You're meant to vote against her. What's this
How
business?
the shit did Letterbomb win that?
Episode 5, Tina Turner.
I fucking hate saxophones.
Oh, wow.
I am sorry for everybody out there who's a saxophone player or saxophone lover or saxophone aficionado, but fuck me, it's a horrible sound. I hate it. Absolutely hate it. And the problem is, though, these 2 albums are just fucking littered with it. All over the place. And it's just like, it's basically saying Oasis to me. It's like, no, I don't like the song now. It's got it in there.
Well, she doesn't deserve that.
Wow.
That's a bit harsh.
Wow.
Yes.
But don't let that put me off the really horrible saxophone kind of solo. Luckily, the solos don't go on that long. They're literally about, I don't know, a couple of bars, and then then the rest of the song carries on. So
I think you guys are really showing your age, because I've not heard this song before. And
What?
I've never heard this song before.
What the?
no, I don't believe it.
Wow.
You're just making this up. You're trying to be cool, aren't you? That's what. I don't know the song.
No.
I totally call bullshit on that.
I've never heard it before.
Wow.
But I thought it started with it sounds like a late night. And you just got home after sort of partying. It's got that sort of after party feel to it. Tina sings in a very quiet and restrained way, but does eventually let rip, which is what we want from Tina. And despite being the title track, it's the one that I've enjoyed the least so far. So I'm voting Look Me in the Heart.
Excellent choice.
So that's, that one.
What does that bring? Is that 2-2
It's
then?
2-2 again.
So Look Me in the Heart wins,
It
I
does
guess.
indeed, yes.
I can't believe you've never heard Private Dancer before.
No, I
That's
can't.
the same as saying I've never seen Back to the Future
Or The Sky. I love how
What's that up there?
I love how that whole conversation went with Stu starting it all off with going, if you ask anybody to name a Tina Turner song, second one they choose will be Private Dancer, as long as that person's not Cath.
Yeah.
Well, not anyone who's sort of under 45 years old. Then,
Oh, wow.
you old farts.
No, that's a part of history now. That's a part of history. You can't say that.
And the problem now, going forward, is that what Tina's doing and what the music's doing are completely opposite. The music's plodding along, and she's just full of emotion and, going for it in places. But it just makes a mismatch.
But do you think
It's
that was more of a production style at the time? Because you go, you know what, Tina's the star of the show here, not the music. So we have to low key it right down. I know what you mean, but maybe that was they did that on purpose.
Yeah, so it's
So-
almost like a karaoke
Yeah.
track
Yes,
with her
yeah,
brilliant
perfect.
singing
Mind
over the
you,
top.
Perfect analogy.
You wouldn't pour sherbet over an ice cream, would you?
Well, now you've said that, I might give that a go.
Go, yeah.
Okay, so what we're going to do is get some Heavy 17 drum singers. Okay, when you want me to sing? It's like, in a minute, Tina. I just need to calibrate the keyboards and all those kind of things. And
She wasn't 83 in 1984.
I love the fact that Stu thinks Tina's living a fucking musical and sings everything.
well, doesn't she? Didn't she even? Now, this is now nothing to do with Tina. This is all to do with Bowie. What the fuck is a Savage Jaw? I even put in our little group chat yesterday. I'm just doing some research. I have no idea what this is. So I've been reading the lyrics. I'm going, no, I have no idea what Bowie's even talking about here. Not at all. And it's just maybe me being stupid. I don't know. But that's like my problem with a Bowie thing, not Tina, because she didn't write this song. Tina just went, I'm bored. What can I do? What's the hottest shit at the moment? And that's where she went, Heavy 17. Yeah, I've got them on speed dial. Well, back then, was it a
It
speed dial or was it a rotary? Was it rotary? I don't know. So that's why it's got my vote, really. It's just because it's mad. It's mad enough to win in my eyes.
Right then, so next up we've got Not Enough Romance versus We Didn't Need Another Hero, Thunderdome. So Not Enough, I mean it's in brackets, that's why I've said it like
We
that.
don't need another hero. Not we didn't.
We didn't need one. We got one anyway.
We got one. His saxophone
need
John is
another
over
hero.
there.
We didn't need another hero. We got one anyway. He plays the fucking sax, doesn't he?
Oh, we didn't need one though.
Right, so I can't read anymore.
I have full respect for Tina Turner and what she did. I think in terms of female artists and what I did a little bit more looking into top selling female artists of all time. And she's well down there, which obviously is part of the changing market, etc. You know, you got your Adeles and things right at the top, but I think Tina Turner was about 35th or something.
Okay,
in terms of
I think she
total
should be
album
higher,
sales.
to be honest.
Yeah.
To be
Yeah.
fair, though, it's a little unfair because when Tina was alive and she was releasing albums, she would have released Foreign Affair and that would have been the album. Whereas Taylor Swift, who is the greatest record seller at the moment, releases
Right.
every album on 5 different fucking versions.
Right.
So
yeah.
like all the Swifties will go and buy all 5 versions of the album.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that is like bulking up her sales. So I can kind of understand it's a bit of a skewed metric.
But also, like Taylor Swift, she's a youngster, right? I don't know how, like late 20s, I don't know.
Whippersnapper.
She's a youngster, but Tina Turner was a mature woman who had, like, she was getting the raunch on and she was
She was
singing
a woman
sexy
of a
songs
certain
and doing
age.
fantastically well. You would never get that in this day and age.
No.
Yeah.
So
true.
good on her.
Yeah, I have mad respect for mad respect.
You're so straight, Robbie. We didn't realise you were down with all the kids.
Yeah, that's right. I'm just trying to appeal to a new demographic. No, I have total respect for Tina Turner and who she was as well as what she did. So yeah. Hats off. I think she's one of the all-time greats in terms of female artists.
Oh yeah,
for
yeah,
sure.
definitely. And,
Yeah.
and I don't know. I think out of all us, like I've probably been or perceived to be the most negative, and I think I have a little bit. But no, to be fair, it was more about the music
Yeah.
than her. If you think about it, and we discovered on our little journey that there was lots of covers, and she's also not written a lot of these songs. There was somebody else's, so yeah, you got to put that into context. But the one thing I think we all agree on. The saxophone player can go and do one.
Yeah.
No more sax.
No more sax.
I was just having
Yeah.
a quick look to see if because I think she quite rightly deserves to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Yeah,
100%.
She must.
yeah, she actually is. But I was just looking at the year that she went in, and this is crazy. She only went in 2021, and
Really?
yeah, and the other performers that went in at the same time as her were the Foo Fighters, the
Oh,
Go-Go's,
fuck off.
Jay-Z, Carole King, Kraftwerk, LL Cool J, and
Wow.
Todd Rundgren. So,
Who?
yeah, Todd Rundgren.
Yeah, but the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is a pile
It
of
just
bullshit
sounds, yeah,
anyway.
it does sound like a load of bullshit.
Yeah.
How?
Yeah.
I mean, she should have been in it decades earlier than that.
Yeah, well, Iron Maiden aren't in it, so...
Well,
what a
yeah,
joke.
well, it's a joke, yeah.
Episode 6, The Wedding Present.
There is so little research you can find about these songs. So, like, what Cath's been doing, and actually what everybody's been doing has been doing a little blurb about the song, about its history, a bit of story. To be fair, there's bugger all on this one. It's like Gedge is either in love, he's lost love, he wants to be in love, or he's been dumped.
Yeah.
And you pick one of those
We
and you
noticed.
cycle them around. You just cycle them around.
Yeah.
It's too much. They're very good songs of what they are, but you just cycle them around and you'll get there. You know, so the lyrics of that are great. I just really like them. It's just really like innocent. Remember, he probably wrote this when he was about 15. It's just, hey. It's just like, oh, poor Gedge.
I
So
saw the
that-
girl and I pushed her in the hedge and I like her, but she didn't want to talk to me, and then she stole me packed lunch.
You can imagine it being an episode of Granger or something. Right, okay, so...
Hey,
track-
so just talking about time changes for a minute.
Yeah.
So, to me, there's two types of time changes. Well, there normally are. You've got your super smooth time change where it's, you know, the time signature's changed, but you may not have noticed it. And then you've got your, now we're stopping that, now we're starting that, with some sort of segue in between.
Yeah.
But the thing I was jarring to me was this third way of, we're going to put a time change in, but it's neither of those two things. And that,
yeah.
I'm just not used to that. It didn't sit so easily with me. So
Yeah.
I liked the lyrics, and I wondered what it was that this guy was gonna give away by Let Him Have It. But then we had the wine fest of, you don't want me, you don't need me, you don't really care enough about me. Oh, that got my goat, that bit. I wanted to hear more about the MacGuffin. Who's going to get the thing and why is he going to get it? But I am going to go with Let Him Have It, because despite the constant one chord jangle, it's got some groove and it's got some great hi-hat work on the instrumental section. So I'm going to go Let Him Have It for the win on that one. Boom!
Okay. Excellent. And Si, I'm very, very disappointed in you.
Yeah, it's like being in the headmaster's study.
I know. I'm already on track 4.
Yeah. So, but that's where I would have used my napalm death, by the way. If that didn't go my way, that's
Oh.
where I would have deployed it.
Oh.
Because there's no way you lot are taking that away from me. You're not having it.
He's got very personal on these two, isn't he? We might have to have a little intervention afterwards. on
I mean,
that.
he's saying he's not having it. Fucking Dave's trying
Well,
to give it away. He don't want it.
Yeah, maybe. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't care.
Let
I
him
don't
have it.
care. Yeah, I'll have it.
Or does that mean like I'll let that guy have it, or does it mean let him have
Well,
it?
this
as
is-
in
Exactly.
fire all the weapons.
This is what me and
Exactly.
Stu was talking about on Friday. We were talking about this track and we were like, we thought it might have been.
Careful.
Yeah, I know. It's like I'm
Wow, okay.
treading carefully when I'm looking at the face turning red. But the musical bacon is dragged out again, but it's given a more prominent role.
Musical bacon.
There is a massive amount of Hammond on this one. But the guitarist and the drummer have pretty much been given the day off when it was recorded. And there are some proper Dr. Zeus lyrics here. And I quote, "It's clear, I can hear." And, well, surprise! I've got eyes. It's like, fucking hell, I do not like
I
green
mean,
eggs and
if that
ham.
doesn't win, that's got to win.
Yeah.
He's also trying to do things well above his vocal range as well. Again. And like Cath, this is my notes here. Those bells. Who the fuck thought that was a good idea?
Yeah.
But as harsh as I have been with Spangle, I think I'm going to put it on the playlist.
Yeah.
And it's,
Wow.
the reason
Okay.
is the Hammond is catchy and Shatner is literally 50 seconds longer than songs we disregard for being too short.
Mm.
So it almost feels like an extended interlude. So yeah, Spangle for me.
Right.
Right.
I like the way you've said it. this is going on the playlist, as in you know it's going on the playlist.
Uh-oh.
You don't know this at all.
I'm going to I'm putting it on the playlist whatever you say.
Honestly, the more this podcast goes on, the more I feel like I'm being caught out by the headmaster. Oh, is that what you think, Si? Oh, well.
I believe I called him Simon.
Yeah, that's it.
Even
It was full name.
Episode 7, Massive Attack.
If they don't like something, they will ditch it and start.
Yeah,
from
their
scratch.
manager was not happy when.
I bet they were.
Because I saw an interview about that, and the manager was like, "You're doing what?" And all these people who they collaborated with, going, "Oh, really?" I mean, I've always been interested because this club, they must have still paid them to do it. The work,
I know.
because, it's like thinking, well, no wonder the manager's a bit peeved.
But I think it's good from the perspective of are they being honest about what they're doing. I know we don't like this. We're not going to release this. It's off the table. So
a lot of their guest vocals, guest vocalists, they actually write the lyrics. Massive Attack don't write the lyrics. They just provide the music. So this has actually been written by Sinead O'Connor. And actually this track was going to be thrown out. This is one of their typical. No, not because of Sinead O'Connor. It's that this was the track they wrote, and that was musically, and they would go, "Oh, sorry, we're not going to use this one." And then they just played it. Sinead O'Connor. She went, "Oh, I like that," and she wrote it in the weekend. She penned the lyrics, and then that's how the track came about. It's a great song, that is, as well. The pads in it are really nice. The way she delivers it's really nice.
It sounded like a combination of Vangelis and Ned's Atomic Dustbin.
Okay.
Which was really interesting.
Wow.
I mean, a lot of these tracks have reminded me of other things.
Yeah.
And this is what I mean by, like, I'm trying to describe a colour by thinking of other things that are similar to this colour but not the colour.
Yeah.
Also there's a really interesting string instrument in this track as well, and I was trying to figure out what it might be. And I just sort of concluded that it might be a harp, but it was just really pleasant and just really interesting halfway through, and I very much enjoyed listening to it. It sounded like a combination of Vangelis and Ned's Atomic Dustbin.
Okay.
Which was really interesting.
Wow.
I mean, a lot of these tracks have reminded me of other things.
Yeah.
And this is what I mean by, like, I'm trying to describe a colour by thinking of other things that are similar to this colour but not the colour.
Yeah.
Also there's a really interesting string instrument in this track as well, and I was trying to figure out what it might be. And I just sort of concluded that it might be a harp, but it was just really pleasant and just really interesting halfway through, and I very much enjoyed listening to it.
I would love Rob Zombie to cover this in his own style.
Oh, yeah, that'd be really good.
Now, Rob Zombie or White Zombie?
I think
that's another conversation.
Yeah, that's another conversation for another day. Anti-Star, I love that Eastern influence that I was getting rather than the Native American. I was going to say guitar, but apparently it's a 50-piece string orchestra with each string instrument recorded as separate tracks and then pitch bent by ear.
Bloody
God.
hell.
So,
wow.
That's a lot of technical jargon for our listeners, but let's just say it's super fucking impressive.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm not sure it's got much more.
Because it's a draw, and we haven't played one for a while. It's time for, ladies and gentlemen,
Napalm Death Play!
Unnecessary, because I
just
could
gonna say,
cast the vote anyway. But I'm just going to play it anyway.
Oh, listen, I thought I got the scoring wrong. I went, what?
No. Well, listen, I may have shot my bolt, but I'm reasonably confident that we're going to agree on the last track, because that's where we are.
If you've enjoyed this episode, which why wouldn't you have, then head over to the archive and listen to some more. If you didn't enjoy this episode, then take a long, hard look at yourself and wonder why. Then head over to the archive, have a listen. It will broaden your mind.